Well folks, welcome back to the workshop and to another power tool repair video. This time we have a Bosch laser level on for repair. Generally I don't really work on laser levels, that's why you don't see them on the channel, but this one might be worth fixing. By the looks of it, it's just broken the little window on top, so this one might be worth fixing up. Generally I don't even look at laser levels because most of them cannot be calibrated. So whenever you get them in like this with a broken part on top, generally it's broken because it's had a drop. And if it's had a drop, it's going to be out of calibration, out of alignment, and have to be calibrated. Just make sure this thing works first. Yep, carrying on, working. But if they get a drop and they're out of calibration, most of them can't be calibrated. Nobody actually calibrates them, and they haven't designed them to be calibrated. They're more of a disposable tool, to be quite honest. The likes of the DeWalt and that, and even the Makitas, you can calibrate them, but the problem is you have to open them up and dismantle them in order to calibrate them. So inside there'll be a couple of little screws to adjust to set the lasers. You have to send the way to a specialist to get it calibrated. They don't work with them simply because the way you calibrate them by adjusting them screws. They have to dismantle the laser, adjust the screw, close it up and test it. And you have to keep going back and forth to test it to get it calibrated. You might have to adjust several times. They're not going to be too bothered about actually dismantling one of these things 5 or 6 or 10 or 20 times over just to set the calibration on them. It's too time consuming, so generally they just don't look at them. But this Bosch one, this will be worth looking at because Bosch have designed it to be calibrated. And this one was calibrated before. Look. They have holes in the cover already to access the little screws, so it can be calibrated without dismantling them. So these ones are worth fixing. But generally, these little windows might be a wee small part, but they're not cheap. This Bosch one costs about €43 list price. Not cheap by any means. The DeWalt could be costing you upwards of €50 or €60. Now, problem is now, I don't even know how to get into this thing. Generally, if you can't see how to get in, remove the little bits of rubber. Yeah. There we go. Under the feet. But even still, not sure how I'm getting on to get this window out. So this one's calibrated a while ago. 2016 to 2017 it was calibrated to. So that's been a while ago. Hopefully she's still in calibration. If not, it'll have to be sent away again because I don't actually calibrate these things. First, let's get a look at the spare part, see how it goes on. So that's the number, if you ever need to order one. You can buy the parts for these. The Bosch ones you can repair and get them calibrated because they've designed them to do so. Generally, lasers, you don't get many spare parts for them. So little feet. And little screw holes, or pins or something. I'm going to have to see how that's going to go on. It's not as easy as I thought. But like I was saying, you can get some spare parts but not all. These here ones you can buy like the slide switch, the doors obviously, the door down here, the little plastic nut, I think the back cover here. But that's it. You can't buy anything from the inside of them. The bigger ones, the 3 laser green ones, cost about €800. You can buy more parts for them. Little control boards and little mounting brackets and all, and you can actually buy the laser unit, which costs about €300 or €400. You can buy more for them, but this here sort of one, you can't really get much for it. The main thing with lasers is the little slide switch for powering it on. This powers it, turns it on, but it's also a lock. So whenever it's off, the pendulum's actually locked, so you can transport this without it getting damaged. A lot of people take the batteries out or leave it in the unlocked position when they're moving it. If you do that, this pendulum's swinging around and banging around inside. It's just going to get knocked out of calibration very quickly. Now this one is going to be a learning game because I don't know how to get under it. I'll just learn as we go. I was going to say that wasn't too bad, but obviously that's not it. Right, they're not the calibration screws. These are. There we go there, look. One down in there. And one on here. A capped on it was on there originally. So whoever calibrated this would open that up to set the calibration. See, though those screws aren't that. These are just for the cover. Have to take them off to get under it. Yeah, there's the problem. You go the whole way through. That's just a magnet. There we go. Getting somewhere now. And there's the inside of her. Where those screws going to. This one is going to this little screw here. And the other one is going down here to this little screw. Complicated units inside. You can sort of see why they don't bother selling you any spare parts. Because let's face it, what's most people going to do with the inside of this? It's got two wee screws in the bottom. So this is just held into the housing. And the bottom two holes are actually screws. They're right down and deep. And I don't see what actually holds this on. Must be just these here pins, is it? Yeah, they locate under here. In other words, don't move this assembly. Otherwise you might get it closed again. Looks like these are actually PH1s maybe. Yeah. Some crack getting them back in again. right the way down in there. Look. And that can just come straight off. And drop on the new one. Just go straight down. There's a gasket on this as well. So you actually get it to line up. To make sure that gasket's on. Otherwise it'll not squeeze down. Wow, you really have to bear down on this here to get them screw holes to line up. That's tight going there. Just make sure your seal is all the way down, all the way around. But even still, the hole is actually just a little bit further up than the body. So you really have to squeeze it down to get them to line up. Not what you want to be doing. You're holding something as delicate looking as this. Luckily that one wasn't as bad. Now, that's the lens on at least. Let's see if we can get it back together again. That was just a wee magnet and a steel pin. Easier just to take that out for now. Again, very tight to get that closed. To push both these down to actually get it to close on. Hopefully that should be it. Don't forget the little door. Back that out. And that should be it. Two long ones are probably for here. There's obviously the countersunk. And we have 4 for around here. 1. Still in the hole. It's not like the breakdown diagram for this thing's giving you anything to go by. There's no information on it at all. It just shows you the unit, these little rubber feet, and shows you the lenses. That's about it. It doesn't even show you a screw in the breakdown diagram. So if you have one of these and you're looking to fix it, it's a bit difficult to do without any info. So hopefully this video will come in handy for anybody that actually has it. I want to have a go at it themselves. Because if you don't know how to open them, it can be a bit annoying trying. This here is just a magnet and 2 little metal pins. Where'd the other one go? There we go there. So they're just sitting there and the magnet just goes between them. This just holds them on. And the cover then is just held on with these 2 little countersunks. And that's it. Place your little rubber feet. You should be good to go. I think this particular one is obsolete now, but you do get newer versions. I think it's now called the 380p and the 380G for green. But parts and all should be the same. They're still available, and they should still be able to be calibrated as well. So if you're ever wondering why the Bosch ones are so expensive compared to some of the other brands out there, like the DeWalt and Milwaukee, that's why. If you drop these ones, you can't just send them away and get them calibrated again. They will calibrate them because you can just open up this cover and access the screws. The DeWalts, the Milwaukees, them types of one, they're just sealed units. To calibrate them, you have to strip the whole thing apart, and nobody wants to do it. That's her. 1 red, 2 laser, Bosch laser level. Fixed up again. New glass door or glass window on top. Dear part, but relatively easy to repair as long as you take your time. All you need, that is what I think it's a T8 or a T9 torque screwdriver and a PH1. That's all you need to open one of these Bosch GLL 2-stroke 80Ps or else the 3-stroke 80P or G laser levels. You can do it yourself, but the parts ain't cheap, quite dear for all that it is. Anyway folks, that's it. Thanks for watching. Hope you're enjoying the videos as always folks. If you're liking them, don't forget to give us a wee like and a follow down below. And I'll chat to you again next time. Cheers!